Playoff dreams are razor-thin in Detroit. The Lions have clawed their way back into relevance. Last season's playoff surge still fresh as a Detroit fall breeze, but this division? It's a brutal grind. NFC North foes Packers, Bears, and Vikings are circling like hawks, every misstep magnified. Pressure isn't just on, it's breaking the dial. The ghosts of Barry Sanders' sudden exit, Calvin Johnson's early retirement, and that soul-crushing 0-16 season linger in every snap. If the Lions hesitate now, if the front office stalls on shoring up depth, Detroit risks more heartbreak. This isn't about rebuilding hype, it's about building real resilience, rapid improvement, and that ruthless edge you need when you're chasing playoff relevance in a division that bites harder than a winter cold. Can the Lions get the pieces they need to move beyond just competing to truly threatening? Everyone's watching, and patience in Motown isn't a virtue. It's a survival skill. This is Lions News Fan Report, your go-to for every detail, every move under that Honolulu blue sky, every tension pulse from the tailgate to Ford Field's roar. If you bleed blue and silver, hit subscribe now or risk missing the edge Detroit earns every grinded-out Sunday. This week, a move landed that could reshape the game's chessboard just as the Lions head toward Monday Night Showdown under the primetime lights. Cunningham is in the building. Not the quarterback Detroit thought they'd see developing, but a versatile former Ravens and Patriots talent signed to the Lions practice squad, just in time for Baltimore's visit. Cunningham's path is wild undrafted free agent out of Louisville, switching gears from QB to wide receiver, embodying adaptability on a roster scratch pad. The Ravens snatched him off New England's practice squad last December, keeping him in their orbit, but now Detroit has him on their side. Why? This isn't a simple depth move. It's a strategic jab aimed at decoding Lamar Jackson. Cunningham spent a season plus inside the Ravens' offensive walls. He knows their signals, their pace, the subtle shifts that let Jackson slice defenses open with his legs and arm. The Lions have been torched before by Jackson's dynamic ground game. His ability to escape pressure and create chaos is a season highlight for every defensive coordinator's nightmare. Cunningham in scout team duties means sharper, more realistic reps, simulating Baltimore's offensive tempo. It's a move packed with potential to save Detroit yards and maybe a few touchdowns come Monday night. Adding veteran tight end Ross Dwelley to the practice squad further signals Detroit's intent to bulk up in the trenches and provide more offensive versatility in camp. Dan Campbell's system of grinded-out, fundamental-heavy approach relies on precise execution and intelligent scheme fits. Cunningham's quick development from quarterback to receiver could mesh well with offensive coordinator Ben Johnson's preference for versatile players who can read defenses and adjust routes on the fly. That kind of flexibility can energize Detroit's offense past the predictable patterns that NFC North rivals love to feast on. But what does this mean for the Lions' depth chart? The WR Corps has talent, but it's young, with question marks lingering over consistency and health. Cunningham's presence jams the door for unproven wideouts. Desperate for snaps competition is now brutal, and that bodes well for elevated performance across the board. On defense, scout team. Reps tied to Cincinnati's knack for making opponents uncomfortable can't be underestimated for game day readiness. Defensive backs and linebackers facing Cunningham's mimicry of Jackson's offense get a new level of challenge every practice. It's early season chess that stretches beyond Monday. If this payoff works, Lions defense could catch Baltimore's offense a step behind longer, turning tides in a division where every win counts double against Pack and Vikes. The ripple effect might force those rivals to take note. Detroit is assembling tools for a deeper run, and not in typical Lions fashion, where hope outpaces execution. Campbell addressed pressure in his Monday media session. He's felt these storms before in New Orleans when starting 0-2, then rattling off 9 straight wins. He's demanding that grit and progress drown out the noise. You can't get down in the dirt. You can't listen to the outside noise. If the stress is too much, you don't belong in this business. Easy words, but harder for Lions fans who've endured the lean years. Yet, here's the catch. You want to win with Detroit. You earn it the hard way, play by play, week by week. Cunningham's signing is the kind of low-key, high-impact move that could be the edge nobody saw coming. Just like last season's gritty playoff push that revitalized a restless fan base starving for respect. If you think this move won't be felt on Monday night or in the weeks ahead, consider. This is more than adding a warm body. It's a chess match piece that could unlock Baltimore's offense for Detroit's defenders. It's about taking control at Ford Field, turning the noise of the NFC North rivalry into fuel, not frustration. And make no mistake, the Lions need every inch, every rep, every cunning play to emerge from this pack stronger. So here's the call to every Lions fan. Stay tuned, stay loud, and stay ready. The league watches Detroit with hope and skepticism alike, but we know better. We know that every underdog gets their shot, every season carries redemption or ruin, and every signing like Malik Cunningham carries stories untold. How do you see this move shaping Detroit's future? Is it a sign of smart progress or another midseason tweak? Sound off down below, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. Big nights like this don't happen waiting around. They happen when you commit to the grind with every snap. Because in Detroit, we don't just watch football. We live it in every cold night, every roaring crowd, every mom and pop tailgate with lukewarm coffee and hopes hotter than the Motor City summer. After all, if the Detroit Lions can keep improving, maybe this is the year we stop making the playoffs feel like a cruel tease and start owning the NFC North for good. Or at least avoid another season where the most excitement is debating who got to keep Barry's retired jersey. That's the Lions, grinding, fighting, and always aiming higher. Keep that energy. Monday night is coming, and so is opportunity. What if this isn't the end of the shock, but the start of something bigger? The roar inside Ford Field could shift faster than fans can grab their next brew, because at this point, every move the Lions make feels like a gamble on the razor's edge. The NFC North rivals? They're sharpening their claws, circling, waiting for the Lions to make a slip, each misstep magnified times 10. Like they're waiting for Detroit to stumble into a trap that could unravel everything. And the front office? Statistically, they're walking a tightrope. With the addition of Cunningham, an undrafted Louisville kid turned versatile weapon, the Lions aren't just plugging gaps. They're throwing down a bold gauntlet, daring the division to match them step for step. Could this be Detroit's secret weapon against Lamar Jackson and that Ravens chaos? If Cunningham can mimic Jackson's elusive speed and tactical intuition, it forces Baltimore to tinker, to overthink a potential game-changer that's been missing at Ford Field since, well, forever. But that's just the start. The ripple effects here could shake up the depth chart, crafting a wide receiver room that's still green but hungry, desperate for snaps, risking a locker room battle that might either forge a tighter unit or blow the locker room apart. And yet, insiders whisper that the coaching staff are cautiously eyeing Cunningham's transition from QB to WR if he blossoms. It could energize the entire offense, making defenses scramble to keep pace and perhaps, finally, shift the narrative from just hope to threat in the NFC. Still, the real concern? The defense. If Cunningham's scout teamwork throws lanky illusions at the secondary, it could be the difference maker in clutch moments, especially against NFC North rivals who love to grind out wins, a game of inches that Detroit can't afford to lose if they're serious about breaking that playoff drought. And some league chatter suggests that moves like this multi-layered strategic might be Detroit's way of signaling a shift, a chessboard arrangement aimed at sneaking ahead of the Vikings and Packers, not just surviving, but outright dominating. But here's where it gets real gut check. If the Lions pull the trigger, if this gamble pays off, it might be the decisive factor propelling Detroit from just scrapping their way into the postseason to confronting that first-round success, or risking it all for what could be a horrifying reality, another season of what-ifs and lost opportunities, echoing the ghosts of Barry Sanders' sudden departure and Calvin Johnson's premature exit. And let's not forget, with the cap space tight and the season hanging in the balance, these moves are more than just tactical. They're perilous, a leap of faith that has Lions fans holding their breath. Because if history told us anything, it's that Detroit doesn't get second chances. This season, maybe more than ever, they've got to seize every moment, every rep, every potential game winner, or risk falling back into the shadows that have long haunted them. The plan? It's simple. Throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, and pray to gamble that Cunningham's versatility becomes that one piece that flips the script. And if the front office pulls this off, if Cunningham's development and the whispers about a deeper, offensive scheme elevate Detroit, this could be the foundation for a new dynasty in the Motor City. Or it could be the cruelest tease yet, a fleeting flash of hope before falling back into familiar darkness. The clock's ticking, and every second pushes Detroit closer to either a breakthrough or another heartbreak. And if the Lions dare to gamble now, to push all chips in on these odds, we might just be witnessing the beginning of a commanding Lions era, or watching the final seconds of the franchise's patience evaporate. Either way, it's game time. One Pride don't sleep on Chaos Get Loud. Stay fierce, and make sure Ford Field hears us when Monday night hits. That's how we own this season, with grit, blue, and the relentless drive of a city that refuses to back down.